We do. We're definitely,
you
know, it's interesting because it was one of those things when I first started working with Mike, I was like, oh, I'm going to be honest, Mike, I'm sorry. Don't be offended. I was like, oh, coins? And then I'm being so serious.
And that's good. She said it to my face.
Well, I said it in a nice way.
Due respect.
And then, you know what, the one I started working with him and learning, I truly now am a numismatist. I'm not an expert, but I collect.
You got a great collection.
Right, we really do.
You got the big cabinet, you got the curio, you got the cabinets.
It's a part of history. You will fall in love with it, so I hope you'll enjoy the show.
You went to the Denver Mint on your vacation.
I did. It was amazing. It was really cool. It was really cool. Okay, well, let's talk about this set.
30 gone, just as I mentioned it 2 minutes ago. I just mentioned it.
So exciting, and we only have now less than 1,000.
Well, because there's only 1,000, right? So that's what it is. Can we get in close on? I don't care either one of the coins. The key to this is this was a set that was just released by the United States government, and what they did for their 225th anniversary is they did an enhanced uncirculated. They've done proof sets, they've done mint sets. They have never done an enhanced uncirculated set before. Okay, so EU means enhanced uncirculated. And if you look at this, when you look at this, it is completely and totally done differently. I want to get in here on, let me pick, which one? Let's do this one. Do we have Ellis Island? That's the one I'm looking for here. Or we'll do Ozark Mountain. I love Ozark. So what they did with the enhanced uncirculated, they laser finished the dies. Check that out. They laser finish the dies, and then it's matte finished on the other side with the San Francisco Mint. Now, for the 225th anniversary, they did 225,000 sets, which seems like a lot, but folks, first of all, that's almost no sets. And when I'll get into this, we're going to spend a little bit of time here. These are flying out of here, folks. Please be patient if you try to call in. We're going to sell every single one of these, I think. Is rarity, you want the 5 rarest quarters ever made by the United States government? They're these 5 quarters right here.
Really?
Oh, well, it's not even close.
Okay.
I mean, the rarest other quarter.
So you mean the national park quarters?
I mean,
in general?
Any quarter they've ever made in the history of America, basically, in the Washington quarters. These are the 5 rarest. And I mean, if you add them all up, you still don't get to the 6th rarest. I mean, they're 5, 10, 15 times rarer than any. So you have a complete, and these are the only enhanced uncirculated quarters because they're done with a special finish. The only enhanced uncirculated quarters that the United States government has ever done, you get all 5 of those as well. So that is a spectacular opportunity. Of course, free shipping with that. Same thing with the Kennedy $half. The only thing that comes close to this, now this is once again enhanced uncirculated. When you look at this, it looks like this fantastic matte finish, but you see the letters are all kind of shiny.
It's almost like they look raised.
Right.
Like
they do because they have laser finished the dies to put that out so it stands out and looks up like it's just
very dimensional.
And it's San Francisco.
Is it a new process? Is this a new process?
They just started about 4 or 5 years ago, and if you look at the history of enhanced uncirculated coins, there's like an enhanced uncirculated Kennedy $half in silver. That's I think we sell that coin for $100 or $125 for that coin.
For one
There's enhanced uncirculated Sacagawea golden dollars from like 2012. I think we sell those for about $200. Here's this, of course, the only way that this is done is enhanced uncirculated in this set that you see right here. So that's spectacular. The only enhanced uncirculated Lincoln cent, the only enhanced uncirculated nickel, only enhanced uncirculated, no, they didn't enhanced uncirculated dime in the special March of Dimes set. I think we sold that for $125 or $150. Now understand, count in the red oak presentation box. Let's take a look at that. It is absolutely stunning and gorgeous.
Look at
Okay, look at that. So that's $49.95 all day long.
Even that, the piano finish, even the gold hinges.
Well, that's what we call that, a piano hinge as well.
Hinge.
We're $30 a coin. Okay, we're $30 a coin, folks.
Right.
When you take into account the box of $49.95.
Okay, so can I ask you then, how much is it to grade a coin?
Well, at the show, because these are special Denver, the ANA, the American Numismatic Association, just had their huge show at Denver. These coins are the Denver coins, as you can see right here, the Denver release. They have the Denver label that's exclusive to us. This Denver label is exclusive to us. As you can see, we have a limited number of these sets that will probably sell out here today. They're going very, very quickly. You can see there's only that. They're available exclusively here, 936 sets that you're going to see right there, and only available right here. So you have the exclusive label. Now, I'm talking about the set. People are buying. We've sold almost 100 of them.
Right.
Keep in mind, these are certified perfect. So it's not just the 225,000 sets. You have now got a certified perfect set.
Because not all coins are going to grade 70.
Oh, no, goodness gracious.
So you're breaking open the sets to make sure that they're 70.
Right. So of the 225,000 sets which are made, which makes every one of these basically one of the rarest of these coins that have ever been made, you now have them in EU70, which makes them conditionally rare as well, which is spectacular, which is collectible, which is desirable. Like I said, we're moving for these are selling very, very, very quickly. Yeah. So as we go over here, once again, you're going to get the red oak presentation box. You get 10 coins all together in the set. I want to spend a little bit of time here and kind of go through each thing. What I want to do, okay, what I want to do is, as you can see, now that's in the entire edition forever. Okay, once that sells out, that's it. They're done, gone, and you will be the only people on the planet that have these. Now, understand, to certify these coins, you know, if you did them at the Denver show, like most people did, you would be $300 into the certification. If you had to buy the set, right, then not all of them grade 70, so you understand what an outstanding opportunity this is, plus we have the box with you.
So Mike and our team did all the legwork. So we did all the legwork, making sure cherry picking each individual coin to complete the entire set for you, and then also securing that from Annex that they're grading the perfect highest grade, which is 70. We've got free shipping and handling. You're getting the red oak presentation box in this beautiful piano finish. Free shipping and handling as well. You have a 30-day money-back guarantee, which really in the world of coins is unprecedented. A 30-day money-back guarantee does not happen. Here at HSN, you shop with confidence. We want to make sure you fall in love with this set. This is a set that is for tomorrow, for years to come. It's an heirloom set you're going to pass down from generation to generation. Mike, the overall value, the totality of this set is so impressive. It's not to be missed.
Yep. I'm going to show you here why this set should sell for about $2,000.
All right, let's do it.
Let's take, for instance, the lowly Lincoln cent, which is actually one of the most collected coins. The lowly Lincoln cent. Well, it's the smallest denomination. Okay. So if you look at the Lincoln cent here, okay, first of all, I think they did a spectacular job. So there is the Lincoln cent, one of the most popularly collected coins of all coins because it's been around for well over 100 years. And I love the way they've done this. Now, this special enhanced uncirculated design, this basically doubles the number of enhanced uncirculated coins in existence. There was only about 10 before this, and this is the only set that's ever been done. This is the only Lincoln cent in enhanced uncirculated. Now, what I did is I went through and I kind of did the math on this and went through the entire history of the Lincoln cent. If you take out what we call the proof coins, special, and the old ones, I'm talking about from 100 years ago, this is the rarest Lincoln cent that the United States government has ever made. It is by far and away the rarest S mint. Now, all these coins are also made at the San Francisco Mint. It is by far and away the rarest San Francisco minted Lincoln cent ever made by the United States Mint. And I'm not talking about enhanced uncirculated, I'm talking about ever, no matter what. So you've probably heard of the 1909 SVDB. It's the legendary coin that's out there in the thing. 1909 SVDB. People that don't even know anything about coins go, yeah, SVDB.
I've heard of that one.
In its highest grade is about a $50,000 or $60,000 or $70,000 coin. This coin is somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.5 times rarer. So it's rarer than 1909 SVDB. It's rarer than the 31S. It's rarer than all of the key date Lincoln cents that we have been taught to collect and follow and find out there. You know, that was kind of the thing that everybody looked for. Well, this is rarer than all of them. The Lincoln cent by itself, and here's the thing, once we sell through this, I went heavy into these sets. I own probably 10%, actually a little bit more, almost 15% of the entire mintage.
For your personal collection?
No.
Or just to share
for
here?
HSN, yeah. I mean, we bought like 30,000 sets.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because once we sell this out, and this will absolutely sell out.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do the same thing we do with proof sets. I will sell these coins individually for far more than 300, not the Denver label. The Denver label is a one-time deal that you have right here. Okay.
So they're going to make these coins at other mints, or no?
No. These were just released at Denver. These coins were all made at San Francisco.
Okay.
The ANA show was in Denver. You've been to a coin show.
Yes.
The ANA is the coin show.
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I said yes, but no, I haven't.
We got to take you to a big coin show.
I want to go.
The United States Mint was there.
Okay.
They actually released 25,000 of the sets at Denver.
All right.
This is what we're looking at. These are certified Denver Mint. As you can see, Denver ANA show. Now, if you go back and look in the pantheon of collectible coins, if you look at coins, anything that's ANA show certified, and there have been like the Kennedy $50, there's been some coins out there, they always bring tremendous premiums in the marketplace. They always bring tremendous premiums in the marketplace. There's no doubt about it. And so just the label on these adds to that. So if I have
exclusive label, right, Mike?
This is our exclusive label. Yeah, okay. Nobody else has this label because nobody else had the sets at the day. You can see where it says Denver release August 1st, 2017. That's what our sets represent. Now, not only do we have a special label that is absolutely incredibly limited, only 936 sets, okay, of which there are now only 800 left, okay, because we sold 139. Okay, so that you see that, so we're down under 800 available sets, and I know we have a weird thing with the how many are left,
right?
But our actual number is 139 less 936, so we have about 790 sets left. That's forever. Right. Okay? Okay. That's all we're ever going to have of these, and those are the Denver labels. So those are always going to bring extra money, extra premium, extra desirability in the marketplace. And then when you look at the coins themselves, if you want the rarest Jefferson nickel ever made, it would be this coin right here. It would be this enhanced uncirculated coin. Now that's just on the face of it. Now we've graded it perfect. Now we've graded it with the special label. Now there's only 936 of these. Same thing with the dime. Up till this, what was it, the 1997 dime that they did, and then they did the March of Dimes set that they did. Those coins were, you know, $50, $75, $100, $150, perhaps even more than that. This coin is now, particularly in EU70, kind of blowing all those coins away. It's absolutely a crucial collectible coin. Then we get down to the Kennedy $50. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at the Kennedy $50 in enhanced uncirculated, there's only two. This is the only S-minted Kennedy $50 in enhanced uncirculated that you can see right there. It's clad. This coin, like I said, and this is what I'm going to do. Once we sell this set out, and we will, okay, we're down to about 750 sets of these now, a little bit more than that. I'll sell this coin, and I'll probably sell this coin for $99. And then we're going to sell the Sacagawea golden dollar by itself, the Sequoia dollar that you're going to have.
Which we don't see the Sacagawea often.
No, not often. And enhanced uncirculated has always brought tremendous premiums in the marketplace.
But the enhanced uncirculated, has that been done before?
Yes, it has. And if you go on HSN.com, I think we have some for about $189
just for
in
that
EU70.
One coin.
Right, for that one coin, for EU70. So you've got this coin right here. We will sell that coin individually. So we talk about all these coins. The penny I'll probably sell for $79.95. $59.95, you know, all these things, you're in at $30 a coin. But the key to this, to me, is right here. The state quarters and then the national parks quarters made by the United States government, okay, they have been absolutely crucial collectibles. In all of the quarters that have ever been done, not only within the state quarters and the national parks, but I'm talking about all of the Washington quarters that have ever been made by the United States Mint. These 5 coins here represent the 5 rarest quarters ever made by the United States, or made by the United States government. And I think if we go back, I can probably look at the mintage, certainly the rarest quarters of the last 100 years, and by far and away the rarest Washington quarters that have ever been made by the United States Mint. So they occupy this special place. I can tell you right now, I have seen just the quarter sets available at $399 for just the quarters. That's the other thing I would tell you. And with our 30-day money-back guarantee, that's so critically important.
Right, and then the free
This is
shipping.
just not a set you and the label's exclusive.
Right.
So the set, by terms of that, is 100% exclusive to us here at HSN. However, you can do it by, have it graded by PCGS or NGC or anything else. Any way you want to do it, you're not going to find a set for $349 in a red oak presentation box.
And I'll tell you.
I mean, you're just not going to find it for that. That's the key.
And
it
this is a
historic.
brand new release.
Brand new release.
Brand new release.
Oh, this was released August 1st.
I'm actually going to just
basically
do this to show
at Denver.
everybody.
I mean, you know. Oh, by the way, and the United States Mint, it was available on the United States Mint website. I forgot to mention this part.
Okay.
Silly me.
No, that's it. Well,
225,000 sets. They sold out in 4 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
4 minutes, all 225,000 sets gone. Look at that fantastic
If you were to buy
box.
it from the mint, it would not come this way. It would not come graded as well. From the mint, you're just buying the coins, and then you would have to break open the sets and individually send them off to one of the 4 major grading companies to have them individually graded. Now, that's not saying, let's say you go to the mint, you buy 1 set or you buy 2 sets. That's not guaranteeing to you that you are going to get every coin within that set to grade a perfect 70 and that enhanced uncirculated. So think about that. We have done all the legwork for you. Mike is really cherry picking along with his team the very best from this set. And you're getting it in this beautiful red oak presentation box. It's velvet lined on the underside. So when you're putting this maybe on a tabletop, a coffee table, in your curio cabinet for a display, it is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. And with free shipping at $349.95, you have that 30-day money-back guarantee to get it at home, fall in love with it. And just when Mike talks about the rarity, the importance of these coins, it's a set not to be missed. And I can tell everyone is jumping on board, Mike.
Well, we have 200 sold now.
Right.
And now remember, we have 936. This is forever. It's 100% exclusive to us with that special Denver label that you're going to have on it. So you've got the fantastic Denver label. Okay. So that's from the Denver A&A. So for those of you that have collected coins for a long time, you know that the label, not only is the grade important, remember every single solitary one of these coins is certified perfect. So out of the 225,000 they made, only a small percentage of them are perfect anyway. EU70s, okay? Only a small percentage are perfect anyway. Now you look into the fact that we have a special label on them that is provenance specific. So in other words, these were Denver coins. These were the coins that came out of that Denver Mint release. And that's critically important. There are other coins out there like the Gold Kennedy $50 and some of those where they can bring, 30, 50, even 100% premiums by being those special labels. Okay. Even without the special label, I don't believe you can find anything close to this price, particularly with the red oak presentation box that you've got there. All of that being critically important. You see that we have a little bit of a clock there now, only about 9 minutes. And we are almost up 25% sold through of the quantity that we will have forever. Now keep in mind, because it's exclusive to us, because it's the exclusive Denver label, because it's exclusively numbered, understand this is the wholesale price. So for this set, you absolutely positively can't pay less than $349.95 plus free shipping and handling. Right. But if you look at any of the sets that are out there, okay, $349.95 in a box like that, you're just not going to.
How much did you say the box?
$49.95.
So the box is,
I believe it's $49.95.
Almost a $50 value. And this is really just the perfect showcase. This is 5-star all the way, first class all the way. And Mike, I think this might be a I was going to say, not a smart question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. But before I do that, I just want to reiterate what you're getting here. Because today with the free shipping, today the fact that we have it $349.95, and this is brand new. With so many of you still calling in, over 230 have been spoken for, less than 8 minutes on the clock. Now I'm going to ask you my question. Yeah, go. Because it may be not a smart question, but I'm confused.
I think it's always a good question.
Thank you. The question is, if these are from the San Francisco Mint, how did they end up at the Denver for Denver release?
Well, remember, that's just where the show was.
Oh, so these were taken.
Yeah, sure. They just talked about it. They're all made at the same. It wasn't at the Denver Mint. Okay. Of course, they did release some at the Denver Mint, but it was at the Denver show. That happened to be where the American Numismatic Association, the old ones like the Kennedy $50, those were the Chicago A&A. So you got Chicago A&A, you got Miami A&A. So it's where the show was. All right. Now, so keep in mind that all of these coins on top of that are all made at the San Francisco Mint. So if you look down here once again at these quarters, and I want to go back to the quarters because I think the quarters are of critical importance here. And I'll explain to you why I think it's of absolutely monumental importance, the quarters that are in this set. And the reason is the rarity. So there's 225,000 of these coins. And I'm not talking about graded. I'm not talking about Denver label. I'm not talking about all of the special reasons you should collect this. I'm just talking about 225,000 of each one of these. Right. If you look at the rarest quarters that are out there, like the 1999 silver proof quarters, the other estimate quarters from the United States, from the state quarter program. I mean, those coins sell for about $100 a piece. These coins are 4 times rarer. These coins are 4 times rarer just as coins. And if you go and look into and that's what I'm going to do, if you look at the the quarters themselves, in the silver proofs, if you take a look at the, for instance, some of the national parks quarters, and you look at those in silver, some of the silver coins, as you can see, I mean, we're talking about $30, $40, and these coins are 5, 10, 15, 20 times rarer than those coins in this right here, okay, in just the quarter side of this. So this is a set you could easily expect to pay $349 for by itself.
Just for the national parks.
Just for the national parks. And that's just, you know, in my opinion, and that's just what we're going to look, and just the way we're going to, you're going to be able to find that and do that. And then if you look at the Kennedy half dollar, once again, I have to impress upon you what enhanced uncirculated mean. This is a special presentation coin. The United States government has done one enhanced uncirculated Silver Eagle. It sells for about $200. They had done one Kennedy half dollar. It sells for about $100. They had done one Sacagawea golden dollar before. It can sell for up to $180, the 2012, okay, Native American dollar. And then you're going to have, and they did one in the dimes up here, and that's about a $100 coin. So when you look at that, the enhanced uncirculated coins tend to run somewhere between $100 and $150 a piece. However, they've never done a penny, a nickel, a dime, or any of the quarters before. So basically what you're looking at, a penny, the nickel, and the quarters, so 7 of the 10 coins are unique by their design in terms of enhanced uncirculated. That is critically important in terms of collectability, in terms of desirability. Now, you take that special thing. So this has never been done before. No set has ever been done, let alone certified, graded, and guaranteed absolutely, positively perfect. And that's what we've got here. And then the exclusive label, the limited edition, but more importantly, and almost most importantly to me, look, you have a historic set. You've got 10 coins that are basically unique to this set. The only enhanced uncirculated clad Kennedy half dollar, the only S-minted Sacagawea golden dollar that you've seen in enhanced uncirculated, the fact that the entire set's from the San Francisco Mint. So you have 10 basically unique coins. Then you have them all certified in 70. This is a truly, truly historic set. And we have set that off by establishing the provenance of the Denver set that's included with this as well. Now what's happened is this is our initial presentation of this set.
First time you're getting to see it.
We are now at just about 300 sold, almost 300 sold. So we will clearly, by the end of this presentation, as you see we have 3 or 4 minutes left here. Right. By the end of this presentation, I'm anticipating we're going to be about half sold through of the entire edition that is available exclusively here. So that's a guaranteed low price. But like I said, you got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go out there and look at certified EU70, enhanced uncirculated. Look at the EU70s. I don't care what grading company it is. You know, whether it's PCGS, NGC, I don't care. You're going to be looking at $3.99, $4.99, $5.99, $6.99 I've seen out there. And goodness knows how many of those that they're going to make. You know, that are 936 of these, period.
I mean, it's literally marked.
It's literally marked. And every set is individually numbered and match numbered to ensure its place within the limited edition.
And
so,
Mike,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No,
I was going to say, I love that even within that limited edition, you know exactly what number it is.
Right.
Because it's labeled on the label. So you know that designating factor when you get your set at home. So that really, to me, it makes it distinctive, makes it collectible, highly sought after. You can see it out in the marketplace. These coins fetch a premium. And now you're getting them graded. You're getting all of them on free shipping. You're going to get 10 coins within this historic set. You're getting them all graded, all individually slabbed, each one of these from that San Francisco Mint with free shipping and handling. Plus, here at HSN, you know, Mike, I've teased him and said, you know, when I shop for coins, I get them in a little plastic baggie when we're shopping elsewhere outside of HSN. That is why I love shopping here, because we offer a 30-day money-back guaranteed. Each coin is authenticated. Each coin is that original coin that you know you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So we want to make HSN your destination. Well over what, Mike, 20 years now here at HSN?
Yeah, I'm going on 20 years.
You're going on 20 years. So think about that. He started when he was 10.
Bless you.
You're welcome.
As a matter of fact, I just had a birthday, and it was not my 35th birthday.
Oh, I thought it was mine.
No, thank you though.
Well,
but
happy
it's not.
belated birthday.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Here's the thing that we just hit 300 sold.
Yep. They're very popular.
We just hit 300 sold. And so you see all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. I mean, they're really starting to go.
Everybody kind of waits till the last minute, Mike.
Well, and I understand that. Because look, you're trying to get your head around what this set is. Most people don't even know what it is. It is an extraordinarily rare set. The United States government has never done an enhanced uncirculated set before. As a matter of fact, they've only ever released individual coins. No set made by the United States government has ever contained more than one enhanced uncirculated coin, period. There are only, I think, 5 enhanced uncirculated coins in existence. 6. There's 6 enhanced uncirculated coins in existence, now 16. It's one of the great processes that the United States government has. It's much rarer than proof coins. It's rarer than anything else. And in terms of this, from a coin standpoint, this is, other than early proof Lincolns, this is the rarest Lincoln cent, and it's by far the rarest San Francisco minted Lincoln cent that has ever been made by the United States government. And you can look at the enhanced uncirculated. What they've done is laser finish the dies. Okay? Laser finish the dies, and that's why the 1 cent is shiny. Okay? This coin, like I said, by itself, I will sell this coin and I'll start selling it. You know, in a couple, we'll sell this out. This is like we're over 300 sold with 936. We're under 600 remaining at this point. A lot of people, and that doesn't count the hundreds of folks that are on the phone. Red Oak presentation box included. We've never done an enhanced uncirculated set of quarters. Obviously, we'll sell these by the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Right. The enhanced uncirculated sack, and understand right here. The enhanced uncirculated Kennedy half dollar with the special letters. This is the only clad Kennedy half dollar and San Francisco minted Kennedy half dollar ever done enhanced uncirculated. By the way, if you want the rarest San Francisco minted Kennedy half dollar ever made, you're looking at it right there, not even close. I can tell you the 2012 San Francisco Mint silver Kennedy half dollar sells for $225. This coin's twice as rare. There's all the coins. Twice as rare. We have another set right over there. Twice as rare. We're going to leave those right there.
I'm so sorry to laugh at you.
What are you going to do? That's why they're certified.
It's
what are you going to do?
live television.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
that's gonna
you're going to get this whole set right here. You're going to get the whole set.
The price
right.
is
why don't we
so
look at that
good.
One? Yeah, the
they're jumping off the set.
I like that. Yeah.
Yes, but you know what? You know, regardless, to Mike's point, which is very important, because they're in that slab, that does protect your coin.
Right.
So that slab.
So these guys right here hit the ground pretty hard.
Pretty hard.
And as you can see, I rescued 2 of them so far. And as you can see, they're still perfect because these things are high impact, high impact plastic. You're going to have within that, you're still going to have the tamper evident holographic seal that you're going to have right there. So this coin is still an EU70, still absolutely positively perfect. Looks like Robin has rescued most of the strays that are running around down there.
It didn't look very good. But as we wrap up, I know we're going to go to break moments, but with over 330 already spoken for, that is almost half of our quantity in totality. We're getting the Red Oak presentation box, that beautiful piano finish. You've got the piano finish, or the hinges as well. All 10 coins, first day of issue, brand new release, free shipping, 5773.